Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I go about to make a simple faux fireplace mantle. I had made one for us years ago and I get a lot of questions about it, and I thought this would be the right time of year to make a video on this and just show you how simple it really is to make one. Basically just sticking some boards together. So the main reason I made a fireplace mantle for us was simply just to have it to decorate with. I thought, especially at Christmas time, I really would enjoy that, and I have definitely enjoyed it over the years. It's just fun to get some seasonal decor on there, even though there's not a real fireplace behind it. So let's get right to it. Every time I make a mantle, I just kind of eye it. I don't think any of my mantles have ever been the same. There's no right or wrong when it comes to measurement. It's just whatever, looks good to you, or that's how I am. I'm a visual person, so I just lay my boards out on the floor, stand back, and then kind of measure and see what I want my next wood to be, like what size I want it to be. So what I have so far are my two, bigger boards here for the sides are around 9 inches wide and 45 inches long, and then the top board is 6 inches wide by 28 long, and I'm just giving these measurements in case you actually want to make a mantle exactly this size. But again, no right or wrong when it comes to measurement. I would just suggest laying it out on the floor and then kind of eyeing it, and then making, so that it is kind of the right size for your space. So for the shelf part of the mantle, I always like to add layers of wood. So again, as you can see here, I just added some layers of wood, and each piece I stuck out, from over the edge, like kind of providing an overhang. Overhangs are always good on anything. It just makes something look better if it, sticks out from the side. My first piece here comes over, the edge here about 1 inch, and then the next piece around another inch, and then this one's a little more, 1.5 inches. And then the actual shelf part here is also 1.5 inches. So what I always do with the opening for the mantle is I make some wooden doors for it. Now I realize, were this an actual fireplace, that would not be practical to have wooden doors, but I just really like the look of it. I always like to add some trim along the opening later on. That will make more sense when I put the doors in. It kind of gives me a place to, put them so that they will stay in place. So the next step here is to sand all the pieces, and for me it's just easier to do that before I put it together. But before I do that, I just want to stand back one more time and just take a look at this mantle, make sure it looks okay. For this one, I put an extra piece of wood in that I normally don't put in. It's this one right here. Now that all the pieces are sanded, I'm going to go ahead and lay everything out the way it's supposed to be, and then fasten everything together. Since this next board will actually be exposed, I don't really want screw holes in there, so I'm going to go ahead and use my air nailer to fasten it. Just because I'm using old barn wood, what I had on hand here, doesn't mean you would have to use the same thing. If I was to actually go purchase some wood for this project, I would probably just go to Lowe's or somewhere and get pine boards. That way you would have a nice, lightweight mantle. This barn wood stuff is pretty heavy, but of course I love the look of it, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be wood like this. So here I am the following day, and I'm thinking, what color do I want to make this mantle? Initially I had thought I would probably paint it white, being that I used all these various types of wood that don't really match, and I just paint it white like ours in our house is. But I'm really loving some of this wood, especially right in here. Love old barn wood, and I imagine if I would apply a polyacrylic or a wax over this all, it would just darken it a bit more and just bring out all the details and the character of this wood. The only problem is the actual mantle part here is really light, so I would definitely probably need to apply a stain or something over this first. And I do have one pine board in here. It's this one, but being I have a rough edge exposed, I think it would kind of blend in with everything. It's a bit darker than your normal pine would be. And I do have one piece over here that has some whitewash on it. I think what I'll do is try to just sand more of that off and get it down to the natural wood. So we'll see. I think I'll go ahead and give it a shot to try to, blend these pieces together. And then if it doesn't turn out, I can always paint it. But if I paint it first, I may have my regrets. As I'm applying this gel stain, I see it's really hard to get it blended in evenly, but I think once it's dry, I may be able to do that with my sander. Guys, we still have not invested in a new table saw or tried to fix our old one, so I guess I'll just have to make do with what I have here. Definitely not the ideal operation, but it'll work. I have my wood all laid out here for my doors. The next step is to fasten them together. Since my pins or nails are just barely long enough to hold these pieces of wood together, I'm going to go ahead and pin both of the sides. I'm going to go ahead and add this little latch to the doors just to give that kind of old-fashioned look. Really loving this rich barnwood look, almost to the point that I wish our mantle in the house was this color. So glad I didn't paint it. Here is how it would look without the wooden doors. I also want to mention a couple items here that are available on my Etsy shop. The autumn decal has been really popular this season. We still have some amber jar candles left over from the fall season, planning to discontinue them soon since we need to make room for the Christmas ones. And then this pillow cover, we still have a few of these left over. I also have a little announcement to make, something new that we're trying with the Etsy shop. We get so many requests daily about custom decals. And finally, I think we're in the position that we can possibly do this. I did hire another girl to help part-time with decals, and my niece is really good at designing, so I think with that combination, we are going to try to do this. So if you are looking for a personalized quote or just a scripture that you would love to hang on your wall, or a quote or something, contact us. I will post the listing link down below in the description box. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making this mantle, and I hope I inspired you if you've been wanting to do something like this, and I hope I could convey to you how simple it really is. Anyone can do this. If I can, anyone can. I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!